reason with
Hey,
you.
when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's out of your mouth.
That's kid.
Guiltily, that is my daughter.
What Ryan Reynolds forced his daughter to do on Deadpool is one of the most abhorrent things I have ever heard of.
There is actually no difference between Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds. That's the reason why the character is successful. It's actually him. And what better way to become successful than really just playing yourself?
Ryan Reynolds has long fooled the public with his quick wit, charm, and that lovable goofball act. But behind the sarcasm, behind the Deadpool mask, something much darker is starting to emerge. And fans, they're horrified. It's not just his on-screen behavior that's sparking concern. No, it's his disturbing relationship with his own daughter, Inez, that's sending shockwaves through Hollywood. And guess who's blowing the lid off it all? Justin Baldoni. Yep, the It Ends With Us star is done staying quiet. He's finally pulling back the curtain on what's really been going on behind the scenes with Ryan. And let's just say, it's not the father-daughter relationship fans hoped it would be. People are starting to ask, is Ryan Reynolds really just a narcissistic control freak who treats everyone like a punchline, even his little girl? Let's break it down.
What really bugs me about this is narcissistic. He wanted him to feel alone and like he had no one on his side.
Ryan Reynolds might be Hollywood's golden boy, but lately, it's become painfully clear he's also the villain of his own family story. And nowhere is that more obvious than in his relationship with Inez. She had a small cameo in the 2024 Deadpool and Wolverine movie, playing Kidpool. Sounds adorable, right? But what should have been a heartwarming behind-the-scenes look at father-daughter bonding turned into something creepy. Ryan made a Facebook post with a photo of Inez on set, but instead of celebrating her, he mocked her. He captioned the photo, "Only co-star I argued with." Most people think Kidpool is the dirtiest, but she's also pretty good at backtalk and never taking out the trash. Wait, what? He called his own daughter dirty? Fans were appalled. Like, this isn't sarcasm anymore, it's sick. And sadly, this wasn't an isolated incident. Fans who've been watching Ryan for a while have noticed the pattern. He doesn't just throw Blake Lively under the bus, he builds the bus, drives it, then reverses over her again for laughs. Back in 2019, he posted a heartfelt-looking tribute about a painting Blake commissioned for him, only to end it with, "If there's ever a fire, I'm grabbing this first. I'll come back for Blake." What? That's your pregnant wife we're talking about, dude. Then there was the time he went on Jimmy Fallon and completely humiliated her again.
Last time we talked on this program,
Yeah.
it was, we were talking about Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
And I said to you, I go, oh my gosh. I go, Ryan, what's up, man? What's going on? And you said to me, not much.
Not much, no.
No,
Yeah.
not much. It was great. We had a
Wasn't a
fun
ton
talk.
going on, yeah.
It was really fun. And then after that, you went right to the premiere.
Yep.
And I got a Google alert saying that Blake is pregnant.
Oh.
And Fallon asked about Blake's pregnancy reveal, and Ryan, of course, made it all about himself. Nobody was more surprised than me, Jimmy. I thought the fact that I was wearing a denim vest would be all the rage. But then Blake shows up, uninvited, might I add, and I thought she was just pounding beer. Turns out, she's 6 months pregnant. He even joked, "I've got to start being more hands-on at home." That's not humor. That's bitter resentment disguised as a punchline. And it's gross.
It's gonna be the denim vest. It wasn't.
No, I thought that was going to be the lead story, but that was going to be the big Google alert.
It's like the only woman Ryan actually respects in his life is his mom. She's even joined him on skits where he drags Blake's love interests, like poor Brandon Sklenar from It Ends With Us. But at least Ryan's mom doesn't seem to mind the chaos. And yet, when it comes to his male friends, it's all praise and bromance. Hugh Jackman can do no wrong, but his wife and daughter? Fair game for public ridicule.
Not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy.
I don't remember seeing this on the schedule.
Let's dive in, shall we?
Well, it's not every day the mother-in-law of the leading lady gets to interview the love interest, and the man trying to replace my sweet little gummy bear, Ryan. Let's dive in, shall we?
Should we not dive in?
I was expecting not to like him.
No, yeah.
But he is so nice.
The nicest guy.
So
funny,
charming.
Meanwhile, it's a pattern, one that Justin Baldoni noticed, and one that he's no longer keeping quiet about. Because it's not just disrespect anymore, it's dangerous. Ryan reportedly had little Inez say something vulgar in the film. Yes, an actual child saying something totally inappropriate. and Ryan just let it happen.
He's
And
downplaying the hell out of that. Basically, everyone was done for the day. Like, this guy came over and I said, I think I could have made that better. I learned more in my short stint working with this man on that movie than anything else in my entire career.
Fans were floored. Where's the protection? Where's the fatherly instinct? Instead of stepping in, Ryan's reported reaction was even more disturbing.
Fight isn't with you. When I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's out of your mouth.
That's guiltily, that is my daughter.
Apparently, when Inez was hesitant to say the line, as any 7-year-old would be, Ryan didn't comfort her. He didn't shield her. He floated the idea of replacing her. Yep, just like that. No hesitation, no compassion. Just, well, maybe we should cast someone else.
Father of the year over here for allowing her to say such language, which, to her credit, she really didn't want to say, and then came back later and said, I want to say it now, when I started looking at other people to play.
Can you imagine what that would do to a kid's self-esteem? All she wanted was to be near her dad. She probably thought it was a fun way to bond. Instead, she's treated like a pawn in his game of control. And if that wasn't bad enough, Ryan allegedly made her rehearse that same disgusting line 70 to 500 times.
Yeah, so they're saying that she didn't really want to say it. And then Ryan said that, you know, if you don't want to say this in this film, daddy's gonna find someone else who will.
Yes, you read that right. 70 to 500 times. Fans were outraged. One person wrote, I am speechless. That's some form of child bleep number. This is beyond disgusting. Another added, this is why I never got into Deadpool. It's degrading and disgusting. This is the icing on the cake. And it gets worse. At the New York premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine, Ryan tried to spin it as a joke. He said, I hope that if I'm lucky, this moment will be the most traumatic thing that happens in your wondrous life. Excuse me? That's how you talk about your own daughter's film debut? It's like he thinks it's funny to be a narcissist. But fans aren't laughing anymore, and neither is Scarlett Johansson. Long before all this, Ryan's ex-wife was already waving red flags. In a 2016 interview with Cosmopolitan, she admitted that being with another actor was challenging, especially when one partner becomes more successful than the other. Insiders later revealed what Scarlett didn't say publicly, that Ryan was controlling, that he expected her to drop everything to be with him, but didn't offer the same in return. Sound familiar? And the root of it all? Ryan's own upbringing. He's been open about how tough his father was. A cop, a boxer, a landmine. He was scary, Ryan once said. Not because he was sadistic or physically abusive, he just had a weight to him, a presence. He admitted that one slight shift in his dad's mood could turn a birthday party into a funeral. So Ryan learned to walk on eggshells, to control himself, and then, eventually, to control others. I was just a twitchy kid, he told Variety in 2017. And over time, that twitchiness turned into control, perfectionism, narcissism. But no one expected he'd pass that pain on to his own children.
See, when a narcissist, when they're trying to manipulate you, and you can see the starting young here in this situation.
And don't forget this part.
Ryan, to our discredit, we made Nezzy do I'm Not You 70 to 500 versions of that line.
I'm gonna pay for that later.
Blake Lively there as Lady Pool, Lady
Matthew
Deadpool.
McConaughey as Cowboy.
And the worst part? Disney didn't even step in. The only scene they removed from Deadpool and Wolverine wasn't the vulgar line Inez had to say. It was a budget joke about X-Men. That's what they prioritized. A joke about Magneto. Not child safety. Not a little girl's dignity. But now that Justin Baldoni's come forward, Ryan is scrambling. Because now we've entered legal territory. Ryan just filed a motion to dismiss Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit. And the accusations in that lawsuit. Bombshells. And now, the claws are out. Ryan Reynolds didn't just try to gaslight the public. He tried to completely destroy Justin Baldoni behind the scenes.
They stem from the fact that his father was always screaming. And we now know that Ryan's also a screamer, so he basically just became his dad. So that whole little scene about like his father and unresolved issues, it's looking like you might have just become who you allege your father was.
But according to Justin's $400 million defamation lawsuit, Ryan privately called him a predator, and allegedly pressured talent agency WME to drop him completely. That's not just petty Hollywood shade, that's career assassination. But here's where it gets even messier. Ryan's lawyers, Michael Gautottle and Ezra Hudson, fired back with the most jaw-dropping statement ever. They told the Post that Ryan genuinely believes Baldoni is a predator. So apparently, it's not defamation? Excuse me, what? They actually argued that unless Baldoni can prove Ryan didn't believe the accusation, then it's not slander. Are you serious right now? But they didn't stop there. The lawyers even dragged Blake Lively into it, claiming she had made multiple private complaints about Baldoni too, accusing him of mistreating women and pushing the boundaries of consent. So now Blake is backing Ryan's attack on Justin? This is starting to feel like a coordinated hit job.
Breaking news, Ryan Reynolds files to dismiss from Justin Baldoni lawsuit. All right, what does this mean? Let's break it down. Has he won his case against Justin Baldoni? No. Have Blake or Ryan been dismissed from the lawsuit? No. This is all very standard, right? The New York Times has filed a motion to dismiss. Leslie Sloan, Blake's publicist, has filed a motion to dismiss.
But Justin Baldoni, he's not backing down. His lawyer, Brian Friedman, came in swinging with a fiery response. He said, and I quote, "Mr. Reynolds' exploitation of his enormous power in Hollywood continues, this time arrogantly asking to be dismissed from the case despite his publicly documented involvement." Mr. Reynolds was a key player in the scheme defaming Justin around Hollywood, strong-arming WME into dropping Justin as a client and trying to destroy his career however possible. That's not just legal smoke, that's a full-on wildfire. Friedman also called out Ryan's attempts to run from the flames after lighting the match himself. He can appear on as many sketch shows as he wants, but we will not stop until he is held accountable for his actions. This is not going away quietly. And honestly, fans are starting to believe Justin. WME themselves admitted they dropped Baldoni because of Ryan.
But the interesting thing is Ryan Reynolds is trying to distance him. He's trying to get dismissed from this lawsuit, but I mean, he's basically like, "Judge, let me out. Leave my wife in it, but let me out," which is, I don't know, it's just kind of funny.
So now we're asking the real question. Why is Ryan so desperate to silence Justin? Why is he going to these lengths, calling in favors, launching smear campaigns, trying to bury this lawsuit under technicalities? Some fans think Ryan's terrified, that if the truth about how he really treats people gets out, his whole funny guy image will collapse.
Where Ari Emanuel basically said that Justin Baldoni was fired from WME and that he did this in support of Blake and Ryan Reynolds. Ari Emanuel said he is ride or die for Blake and Ryan. He also makes fun of Justin Baldoni's name by calling him Justin Baloney.
It's no longer just about a custody of public opinion. This is about control, narcissism, power, and the heartbreaking part? Ryan's daughter Inez is right in the middle of this twisted storm. From calling her dirty online, to pushing her to say a disgusting line 500 times, to making her feel replaceable when she hesitated. Ryan's pattern of behavior paints a clear picture. This is not a dad who's protecting his daughter. This is a man who's prioritizing his brand, his ego, over her well-being. And if this is how he acts in public, on a movie set, with cameras and social media watching, what's happening behind closed doors? It's chilling to think about. Let's not forget, the signs were always there. From the shady jokes at Blake's expense, to Scarlett Johansson's quiet escape from their toxic marriage, to the emotional baggage Ryan openly admits to carrying from his childhood. No one's saying trauma excuses this behavior, but it definitely helps explain it. Ryan once said that when he was a kid, he would try to control himself just to survive in his own home. Now, as a grown man, it seems like he's trying to control everyone else. His wife, his daughter, his co-workers, even his critics. And now that Justin Baldoni's refusing to play along, Ryan's cracking. But here's what Ryan didn't count on. People are finally paying attention. Fans are speaking up. The media is circling. The lawsuit is moving forward. And the skeletons in Ryan's closet, they're coming out one by one. He may have dodged accountability for years with sarcasm, with Deadpool jokes, with red carpet charm. But this is different. This is a child. This is a lawsuit. This is a reckoning. So now we ask you, Is Ryan Reynolds really the wholesome dad and husband he pretends to be? Or is he the narcissistic, manipulative control freak that Justin Baldoni and many fans are finally brave enough to call out? Is this lawsuit just the beginning? And will In someday look back on this moment and realize the world saw her pain and didn't stay silent? Let us know what you think in the comments. Because one thing's for sure, the truth about Ryan Reynolds is no longer a joke.